And on the 3rd of December, we celebrated the International Day of People with Disabilities. The introduction of the NDIS in Australia has brought a great social reform to help impaired Australians. A new online tool called HireUp is helping to reduce costs to the scheme, but also Australians with a disability can choose their support workers without the need of an agent. Mel Tran is a HireUp member, and I spoke with her about her journey and how this website has helped her in the daily life. Could you please tell us a little bit more about you and your journey for using HireUp?
So I myself have a physical disability, but I'm also currently studying digital media design, and I also work for the startup called AbilityMate, and I met Jordan through HireUp at a meetup not a few months ago, and that's how I started to kind of evolve, and I started to use HireUp. And as my first choice of using HireUp, when I first started hearing about HireUp, I thought that was a really good opportunity for me to try something new and something innovative. I guess, and also, since I'm also studying digital media and I'm involved in the disability and technology sector, I've constantly been searching for innovative solutions that can also, at best, be classified as a game changer in the disability sector. So when I came across HireUp, I think that was quite a good example of innovation and how we can use technology as a tool to break barriers for people with a disability.
Before using HireUp, what was the main challenge you were facing without this online platform?
Before I started the online platform, I went through the traditional method of having agencies and coordinators and case managers. It wasn't a good choice for me at first when I first started out having support workers at home and throughout and help me participate in the community. But as the time goes by, I start to feel that I want that control over who I hire and the staff I want to work with and my own rosters. But going through the traditional method of agencies, I didn't have that flexibility to do that. I had a choice to a point to an extent, but it didn't allow me that flexibility to recruit my own staff and manage my own rosters, as well as also because of my own personal schedule due to work and uni. I have quite a busy schedule and I'm always chopping and changing my rosters. And with that traditional method, it was difficult for me to do that because we had a coordinator that did the job for us. And I spent a lot of my time on the phone with the coordinators trying to organize my rosters. And I felt like I went around the circle a bit. So if I wanted to have a shift, I would have to go to my coordinator and tell them what shift I want. And then my coordinator will have to go to the support worker and confirm it with them and then come back to me to confirm the shift. So it was a bit of a process. Whereas with the online platforms like HireUp, kind of cuts out that middle person.
What would you like to tell our listeners about using this online tool?
I would love to say that it's a perfect example of embracing the latest technology. And I think I mentioned earlier about how there are so many solutions out there right now that is using technology as a tool to break barriers for people who have disabilities. And I think online platforms like HireUp is the first step in doing that. And also, not just from the technology aspect, but also from just finding your own support workers in general. HireUp not only allows people with a disability to find support workers and vice versa, but it also takes it the next step and allows clients to have the full control over who they have, what time they have it, and I think that would open up a lot of opportunities.
Well, I think that would be all on my side. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
I would also like to I'm also aware that the International Day for People with a Disability is tomorrow. So I would also like to just add, I think the International Day for People with a Disability is a great way for the community to recognise and celebrate and raise awareness for people with a disability. And also it's probably a perfect day to show the innovative work that some of the organisations and startups are doing right now.
Sounds great. So what are you going to do tomorrow?
Tomorrow I will be running an event. So As I mentioned earlier, I work with a startup business called Ability, and we will be partnering with City of Sydney tomorrow to run a workshop as a celebration of International Day for People with a Disability. And the idea of the workshop is disability and science fiction. So we'll be running a 2-hour workshop on teaching participants how to go through the design process and how to bring technology into the lives of people with a disability, the impact of it into the future.
And that was Mel Tran talking about HigherUp. And if you would like to know more about HigherUp, you can go to the website at higherup.com.au. And you're listening to Fair Comment on the Community Radio Network, and we'll be back after this song. This is Red Gazelle with Carousel.